Hello, everyone. It's Michele Maher here, and I'm here today with Wayne Mouland. Thank you so much, Wayne, for giving me your time tonight to talk about these times that we're going through right now, and how to keep positive and surrender and choose how to see everything that's happening. So, Wayne, if you want to just give us a few words about what you're all about.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for having me here. I think it's a great idea what you're doing with these videos. And I always love to spread positive messages throughout there. And I have a lot of positive messages to say. And my name is Wayne Mouland. I am the founder, an author and founder of Echo Movement. Echo Movement is a meditation humanitarian movement, which is built and based upon three pillars. One is the spreading awareness of meditation, doing mass group synchronized meditations. And also our second pillar is also the cleaning of the planet. We do the Echo Movement Global Cleanups, where we pick different locations every month. First Sunday of every month, we pick different locations in small groups nowadays, social distancing, of course, but just cleaning up areas that need love in regards to litter and trash or whatnot in our neighborhood. And we call on everyone else to do this as well in your neighborhoods as well, because think about it, if we all got together and cleaned our neighborhood every day, it would be perfect. So, and there's a lot of other things that we can do to make the earth, to live harmoniously with the planet like we should be. And like, I believe we're on that path. And the third pillar of Echo Movement is also to work with other charities and organizations who are doing amazing things, to shine light on them, to help, collaborate and assist them. For example, Feed It Forward,
Right.
rescuing food and repurposing it for homeless and less fortunate, and with people with food insecurities. And $1 Million Smiles, building playgrounds. You're very much familiar with $1 Million Smiles,
Yeah.
building playgrounds for children who have terminal illnesses and who are fighting and battling terrible situations with their families, shining some light into their lives during difficult times. Other places as well, like the Scott Mission and any other, Plastic Oceans, any and other organizations, basically, who are doing great things. We just share our love and support, and become active as well with these organizations and really collaborate. So that's pretty much what I
Right.
do. I'm also a mentor. I mentor people with the team mentoring program I have. It's Transitional Energy Alignment Mentoring. And it's everything I did to transform my life into the person who I am today. I didn't always used to be this way. I think, Michelle, you know a little bit about my
Yes,
story.
I do. Yeah.
I have a checkered past, to say the least. We won't get into that tonight, but I was able to transform my life, and if I can do it, it's a testimony that pretty much anybody can do it if I took it from where I was at one point. So that's me in a nutshell. Thank you, Michelle, for having me here.
Right. Oh, thank you so much. So, as I was saying before we kind of got on camera here,
Mhm.
I started these interviews because I found myself getting really sucked into the fear when everything started changing.
Mhm.
Initially, my first concern with the coronavirus was when it was over in China, because my supplier that I get some of the components for my jewelry,
Yeah.
she sources things from China, and she has direct relations with the factories over there. So she was concerned because, of course, she's not getting new pieces and whatever. So, but we kind of thought it was just over there, and it wasn't really coming here.
Yeah.
But then, of course, as we see with travel and everything, it did, of course, come here. So I found myself getting sucked into fear, and knew that I didn't want to stay there, because it is, right, all a choice, as you say. And so I decided to start doing these interviews to talk about how to see that this is happening for us and not to us, and
Mhm.
that we do have a choice on how to see it, and there's a lot of blessings and opportunity, and it's happening for a reason as well. What are
Absolutely.
your thoughts on the whole thing?
Well, I
And
love
how
how
was your
you,
experience at the beginning?
you know what, I am very blessed to be, like I said, in the position of already being kind of very, pretty much a lot, present and aware.
Right.
And I do not, I'm human like the rest of us. I have my days.
Yeah.
However, the majority of the time for me, being present, always being mindful of what's going on, you know, consciously, subconsciously, the whole nine yards. I like what you said about it's happening for us and not to us,
Yes.
because that's huge to me. This whole thing, and we talked about this before we came on the video here. You know, it's all a choice. Okay,
Mhm.
it's a choice whether you take a certain perspective on it. If you want to take the fear channel is there. If you want to take the angry channel is there. If you want to take the scared, or, you know, there's so many different negative channels where you could take it to. When
Right.
there's just as many not nice ones there's, you know, more of the great ones where you can take the perspective and use a little bit of pronoia. Pronoia, if you're not familiar with that word, is the opposite of paranoia. It's the belief that everything, like you said earlier, Michele, is happening to you, or sorry, for you and not to you. Regardless of the situation, that puts you in a whole different space. And I find gratitude is the best attitude to shift away from fear. I know that when you know, you're in a fear and you know, a not pretty space or energy, and your thought process is going down the rabbit hole, if you will, of
Right.
worry and whatnot. You know, just to shift your attitude, it's much easier to go from unhappy and miserable to gratitude than it is to just try to go from, you know, completely miserable to joyous and blissful. There's too much of a gap in between.
Right.
Gratitude, I find, is always the best to be that first step in the staircase to get us to joy and happiness, and even just that, to get us to peace and tranquility. And you know, about watching the news, like
Right.
we talked about too, for the people who I mentor, I definitely always recommend that you know, the news is, you know, if, like I said, if you want to get updated on what's going on, 5 minutes
Yeah.
is really all that it
The
takes,
information is there. You can just look on your phone to
right?
the, you know, the reputable sources, and you've got
Hmm.
the information.
Yeah,
But the news just, the news sells fear. That's what they're in the business of selling.
yes, yes.
Fear and bad
I
news.
really, you know, I sometimes disagree or have weird feelings about what they're telling us on the news. Sometimes, to be frank, you
Yeah.
know, it doesn't resonate. Half of it doesn't resonate with me, and I just choose to just, you know, get the information that's pertinent to, you know, what I have to do in my day to day and whatnot, and then I leave it at that. And the rest of the you know, craziness, I call it, I kind of put on. It's like putting on a pair of shades, except I call them Saturday Night Live shades, where it's a lens of that. If I see all this other crazy fear mongering stuff, I see it on a comedy level. Instead of getting angry, you know, it's always best, you know, to keep your vibration, you know, where you would like to see the direction of your life go when it comes to your experience of your reality. And that's just
Right.
basically to be grateful, to look for the best in everything, to feel, to take the fear and transform it to faith, right? Take the fear and panic
Right.
and put it to a faithful caution, and there you have it. You're in such a different energy, and just do the things that you can do each day. Take some time. People who have more time on your hands, this
Right.
was a great opportunity to go deep within yourself, to really become present with yourself, more mindful, put yourself, you know, make yourself look at your health and whatnot. I know even myself, you know, I don't know what happened with this whole quarantine thing. I didn't spend much time quarantined because I was always on the go, you know, either rescuing food or feeding people or
Right. You,
cleaning up the, you know, nature. But I still was eating a lot of junk food here and there. Like, it makes you more consciously aware. Like, hey, you know what? I have to keep track of what I'm putting in my body right now. I have to keep track about what I'm putting in my body through what I'm watching. I have to keep
right.
track of what I'm putting in my body through what I'm listening to. And, you know, if we all did that, make a huge difference in your lives, especially when you start up, when you wake up in the morning. That's when you want to make sure that right from get-go, right from your beginning
Yes.
of your day, you're coming from a good space. Now, even if We don't always wake up on the right side of the bed. This happens to the best of us, right? But that's why it's good to, just when you're waking up in the morning, even if you set a second alarm, even to remind yourself to be mindful and to be conscious about what you're thinking, what you are, what where your emotions are at, and a quick meditation, even a stop, drop, and om, even if you just give a big om and just relax your body, relax your mind, think of something that brings joy to your heart, and gratitude, and start and begin your day there, and set some intentions, and even if you're going to set the intention to do nothing, set that intention. I'm going to do nothing today. I'm going to relax, and I'm going to feel great about it and not feel guilty whatsoever. Listen to your body.
Right.
Allow your body to guide us, because I know myself personally, I can tell you right now, I have plugged my ears to my body more than enough times to know that it doesn't pay to do that, and my body hurts me every time for it. So listen to your body and just rest when you have to. And it doesn't just mean physical rest. Mental rest is great as well. And this is where meditation comes in. It changed my life. So, this is why I've always wanted to just share it with the world, and let everybody know that it's amazing, and it can really make a huge difference in your whole life completely.
Right. Yes. Yes. And I know there's a lot of people that are embracing meditation now. And as they're looking at their routines, like you say, being present, looking to how you were living your life before all this happened, because now we've had all of the external noise removed, all the external distractions removed. You really don't have anywhere you can go, aside from, getting your groceries and whatever necessities you need, and then getting outside, for a walk,
Going
things
for
like
the
that.
walk, and this is the
But you don't have, like, there's not, you're not rushing off and rushing off and rushing off like you did before. And so you have the time to look, like you said, be present with yourself, and look to how you were living your life, and were you really happy with that? And was that routine and the way of living serving you?
Yeah, and I went through that a long period of my life as well, without being present to the fact that, am I happy? Am I enjoying my life? Do I feel fulfilled? Am I living with purpose? Am I, do I have goals and dreams and aspirations? For years and years and years, I was totally, completely shut off to all those things. And it can be easily turned back on for people. And this is a great opportunity. If you were in the same position I was back then, ask and you shall receive. That's what I did. Within meditation and prayer, I asked for what was my purpose. Give me some direction on what my purpose is, and it didn't take very long. Like they always say, every single religion says, "Ask and you shall receive." So there's a reason for that. It pretty much works every time if you take the time to listen.
Right.
Quieting the noise is exactly like you said earlier, is the best way to open yourself up to receiving the answers and the guidance for those questions.
Right. Yes. Yes. And I'm I've done a lot of these interviews, as well as I've been on some, quite a few webinars, because there's so much happening right now. And the constant theme is like that, to just sit and be present and look to what you were doing before. Who do you want to be after this? And what kind of person do you want to be? What routines are serving you, were not serving you well before, and what new routines you might want going forward. I know a lot of people have adopted, looked at their morning routine, like you were saying, to start off with
Absolutely.
positivity and gratitude. The countless times everybody speaks about that. Starting your day off by thinking, counting, the 3 things you're grateful for, or something like that. Some people have a gratitude journal. Some people just say it. Meditations, like you're saying. Everybody says, don't look at your phone.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm still guilty of that, but
Oh, we're
everybody
all
does.
guilty of that.
Everybody does
Absolutely.
say kind of like sit, and setting the intention definitely as well, because that's the
Mhm.
one thing with there's so many things happening as everybody's turned to having everything online and offering services online. There's all kinds of free webinars and things like that, and it can kind of get overwhelming, and then you have that feeling like you should be doing so much, and then of course we judge ourselves because that's just human
Again,
nature.
yes, yes.
And so
Guilt,
setting the
guilt,
intention,
guilt.
like you said, to just say I'm not doing anything today, and
Yeah.
then not feel guilty about it.
See, energy.
That
See, that's why energy is so important, and we haven't been, our generations haven't been taught that, while we were
no.
growing up and stuff. But the guilt. Put it this way. Let's use an example. The guilt. Say if you ate, you like to have, something that's not healthy for you to eat, right?
A tub of
And
ice cream or something.
or whatever. The actual physical eating of it and the nutritional value of it actually can change just from the guilt that you have, that you attach that energy to the food that you just ate, rather than blessing it, and feeling like it's transforming, or and just releasing the guilt that you had makes a huge difference just alone by
Right.
itself. So it's, yeah, energy wise, it's incredible what you can do, just from your being mindfully intentful.
Right, true. And then when you talk about energy, I know that fear, guilt, worry, all those things like that are so low, they
Yeah,
vibrate so low,
yeah.
and it actually is something that negatively affects your immune system.
Absolutely. That's
Stress,
all this
worry,
fear on
fear, and
TV is no good for the immune system.
and how's that? That's not going to help you, dealing with this virus or
Yeah.
anything like that. And as we know, anytime you've worried about something, how many times was there really something to worry about, or did you just worry and nothing really happened? I know
There's
for
a
me that,
lot of stories being made up in our heads all the time. But
yes,
you know what? One of the biggest pieces of advice I can give to people and that I've received is to follow your excitement. You can never go wrong if you're following your excitement. And you don't have to instantly snap your fingers and automatically know or be in the space of following that one main excitement that's going to be that one that's fits for your life purpose. However, you can begin anywhere. You can begin following your excitement just from the little things. Whatever you eat in the morning, eat your favorite thing in the morning, follow your excitement, enjoy it, be excited about it. When you go for that walk, enjoy it, be so grateful for it. These little things, these little shifts, small little adjustments in our thought process and emotional uh, you know um, health and well-being or what have you, can just change your life and transform your life and transition it to a different reality. I've seen
right.
it. I've watched it happening through other people. I've seen it happen for myself. It's just incredible. Once you realize the power of the truth of how vibration and energy is what really creates the reality here for us. Excuse me.
Right. Yes. Yes, it does. And I've heard that so many times. And it's all about like you say, even little steps, little baby steps. But that all leads to something much bigger. You can do it gradually, but that also when you do little baby steps and something gradual like that, you're more likely to keep going and keep doing it.
It's
As
just like
opposed to
waking
when you
up.
do something like way out,
Hmm.
you might not it's better at building a habit by doing little baby steps
Absolutely.
like that.
And it's routine. To be mindful and present to, is this like your routine? Like, have a good routine, but even the one that you're practicing right now, like, be present of it, sculpt it out, write it all on paper, what you do from Monday to Monday, and ask yourself, am I fulfilled? Is this what I want to do for my existence here on this planet? And a lot of times you're going to figure stuff out where, if you were just mundane and going through the motions, you would have never even thought of these things. And sometimes people die with their dreams in them still. So, you know, and that's a shame. And, you know, I feel it's really, there's a shift happening, I feel, where there's a lot of people awakening to the truth and realizing that, you know, the power is all within them, because we all, each and every single one of us have the ability, power, and gift of doing these things. We're like birds who forget we can fly, you know, spiders who can't remember how to spin a web. We have magic inside of us, and all we
Right.
have to do is activate it, turn it on, and work it out, just like in the gym or exercising or what have you. You know, consistency is key for every single thing that you can do. You know, the best soccer player in the world didn't just wake up and be the best. And just continue to be the best every day without working very, very hard and
Right.
diligently on his
Yeah.
craft or her craft. And, you know, being open to what your crafts are, and, you know, really utilizing your passion and excitement and following your excitement in all aspects of your day-to-day life is really next level stuff. Next
Right.
level.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And I think what was happening before all of this is we were just, so many people were just existing, really. You know, like you say, wake up to one routine you do, you know, you get up, go to work, do the commute, come home, make dinner, rush, 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 maybe rush your kids to different different school activities,
Mm-hmm.
go to bed, wake up, do the same thing again, but like just existing but not really living.
Yeah, and this is
And
where, you
that's
know, three-day work weeks, 4-day work weeks. This is where not putting so much on your plate every day, every week, every month. You know, sometimes you work smarter than working harder. You
that's the
know,
thing,
there's
exactly.
just
Like I
so much
know,
that can be done.
yeah, exactly. I know when I was in corporate for, you know, it's like the 9 to 5,
Hmm.
but that's, you know, you're supposed to be there 9 to 5 or whatever it was. And it's not the, like you say, it's not the quality of your work. Sorry, it wasn't the quantity of your work, it was just the quantity of hours that you're there, as opposed to, and there this whole aspect, concept of work life balance, where you know, your work is there 9 to 5, then you come home. But like everything's integrated now, especially with cell phones and everything.
Hmm.
Everybody's, you can reach anybody all the time. It's more like a whole balance of life, like who you are. It's not, your work is not separate from your life anymore the way I think it
Hmm.
was in the past. That's how I feel. I
Well,
think going forward,
I
you're going to
also,
see that.
I'm gonna just say it right now. I also feel this, there has to be a whole new economy designed and implemented and exercised here, because when you think about it, the people now, especially now that it's during this scenario, um, most of the you know, essential jobs were the lowest paying jobs that you can have. Now, this whole situation about the money system and what have you, uh, that has to change. There has to be some way, if we can fly to Mars and whatnot, and we can figure out a way to make sure that everybody is paid enough money where they can live comfortably and not week to week, day to day, check to check, month to month, in debt. It's ridiculous. What is money? Money is paper with ink on it, and it's also a number digitally entered into a system. Let's digitally enter and print some more and give it to anyone who needs it. To me, I don't understand that, you know, whatever the problems are that are blocking that from occurring, just fix them, change them. Why is there 1,000 people on this planet compared to 8 billion, almost 8 billion, actually 7 billion, or 7,777,000. We hit the other day, all sevens right across the board, but almost 8 billion people here. Why is it that there's like 100,000 to a million people who have all of the money just sitting somewhere?
Right.
What is happening? Like, this is what I mean, where I feel this whole scenario is exposing a lot of injustices, unjust things that are happening with humanity in so many areas. And this is one massive one, because the World Bank and all of these different the people talk about the Illuminatis and whatnot, the 1% or what have you. Come on, guys, enough's enough. That's enough. It's just so not moral at all, and it's I believe that the energy is built up to a positive level here, where these things can no longer happen. We are above it now. Our energies now are above this being done to us now, and I believe
Right.
this is what a lot of people are waking up to. This, you're seeing a lot of stuff online and whatnot, and the stuff that they don't show on the news, which you have to question the news, right? And
Well, yeah.
I just feel like there's a lot of things coming to light. The darkness always comes to light, and I feel like we are upon the golden age. The golden age is upon us. We are going to evolve, and I feel like a lot of truths are going to be disclosed. And I don't think all at once, because I think that would be too much of a shock for everyone. But I think slowly this whole situation is going to assist in the releasing of a lot of things. And there's also a lot of technology that these same groups have been holding on to. The oil and gas companies have been holding on to the free energy, technology, and so many other things they've been holding on to that could literally solve, pollution problems, could literally solve so many things almost instantly. And they've been holding on to free energy and whatnot for so long. It's time that, maybe COVID can help pop the bubble of all of this craziness and bring it to the space of where, all of these things are going to come into place. And you know what, energetically, I really believe that the more of us who think and feel and believe this and feel this way, the sooner it will manifest and become that day. So that's why it's very important for us all to have a positive outlook on the future of not just ourselves, but humanity and the planet as well.
Right. Yeah, and you're not the first one to talk about that in my interviews.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, this is what it's
it's
traveling everywhere, right?
the fact is that we are all equal. We're all equal, and this should show us that we're all equal, because
Absolutely, yeah.
it doesn't really matter how much money you have. You're still isolating in your home, as we saw. The singers, the musicians doing all their concerts. Everybody's in their home. Money doesn't serve you in this right now. Everybody's the same. Everybody's on par, and that's really, we are all one global community of humans.
Yeah, and there's
And we're all
absolutely
equal.
yeah.
And we don't own the earth either.
No, and the earth could
Despite us
go on without
thinking
us.
that we do, but
Yeah, the earth could go on just fine without us, for sure.
exactly. We're the
Just
ones
fine.
who have been allowed to, to stay here.
I've
But
said this so many times. This is it's been far too long.
Yeah.
We as humanity have been treating the earth as if we are a disease, same way a disease treats our bodies. And I feel it's time, and it's happening. It's time for humanity to go into remission. And I feel it. I'm excited by it. I see it all around me, because I'm on a different thought process and emotional patterns. I see so many amazing things and meet so many amazing, incredible people who are just doing some epic things. And I know I can feel it, that there are so many millions and millions of people all over the planet working diligently on these different things. I feel it, that are going to come very soon, I believe, to uplift and shift and change. Like, even when you think about it, if we snapped our fingers and had no more war or battling or what have you, no more murder and killing, basically is what it boils down to, regardless of the reason. If that all was gone, the military, all these military that we would have, they would still have something to do, because they could be the task force set up and put together to help clean the mess that we have made all around the planet, and to help enforce, environmental laws, which I believe are at the top, of what we should be looking at moving forward. Never mind these wars over this and that and the other. There shouldn't be any of that. It should be just enforcement for humanity and the planet, for these corporations and companies and whatever the case may be, that are doing tremendously terrible things, and they know this. They know what they're doing, and it's just going on deaf ears because money and whatnot. We're not going to get into that part of
money
it.
talks, yeah.
Money talks, but I believe it's all coming to again. The darkness always comes to light, and I'm very excited that I can feel this day upon us very soon.
Right. That's yeah, no, because if you think of all the natural disasters that were happening right before this as well. It was funny because one of the webinars I was in, somebody said Mother Nature was talking to us, but we weren't listening, and so she just turned up the volume with this whole thing. But if you think the fires in Australia were just November, December or something, like, so everything
right?
just it's all just how it's kind of like, how long can you keep feeding something like this before it bursts?
Well, think about this as well too. When you want to regarding the connection, how we are fully connected to not only to just one another, but to the planet Earth
Yes.
as well. And if you look at it, it's very interesting when you think about the fact that not only in Australia, in the rainforests there burned, but also in the Amazon and all over in different places, and California and BC, so many fires to the trees and the forests, which are the lungs of the earth. And here we have COVID-19.
Respiratory.
What is it doing? It's attacking the lungs of our bodies, which is our planet, basically. So our planet on our planet. So it's just,
it's all connected.
We're all connected. It's all connected. And if we all got together and focused our energy through our connection on love, peace, harmony, abundance, prosperity, all wonderful things.
Kindness.
What, the possibilities are endless. Imagine if every single human being did whatever they could for everyone else. Amazing. Like there's a group of people here on this planet, many groups of people, say 1,000 people, who have so much money that they could snap their fingers and end so many issues here on the planet with this money, this energy. And I believe that they are about to show themselves, and I'm faithful in that. I have tremendous belief and faith in humanity, and I feel like it's great days are coming soon for us all.
Right. There's no excuse. Why do we have all these people starving? So many people starving in the world, and so many children going without food.
And even living, below par, mediocre lives. Everybody
and even
should
here,
live wonderful lives.
Even here in Canada, and here in Toronto, like you, when you're working with Jagger with Feed It Forward, and you see, there's so many people who don't have food to eat, and there's so many children too in here, Toronto, like.
There's a lot of people are just a paycheck or two away from poverty themselves. So it's that borderline, and everyone should. For me, I feel everyone should make $100,000 a year or minimum, and that's it. I get to everyone. I don't care if you work at Tim Hortons, if you work here, there, whatever. Time is life here on this planet, whether it's an illusion or not. Time is what is the most valuable thing here on Earth for us. And for you to give it 8 hours of your day, 24-hour day, I don't care what you're doing. You should be able to live a comfortable life. It doesn't matter what you're doing. So that, I believe, is going to end one day. I really do.
And we see right now with during this time, so many people coming together as community, serving each other, whether it be, you know, in the charities that you were mentioning, but also just people, just people offering to go
Everyone.
get groceries for the elderly,
For their neighbor, this, that.
their
There's so much
neighbor.
love happening right now.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean. Don't let the news fool you. I always pick on CNN. I always say, don't let CNN fool you. But it doesn't matter what channel, news channel it is.
No,
Really.
it doesn't.
Don't let
It
them fool you.
doesn't.
There is so much love out there. And when you have love in your heart, put it this way, our eyes do not look out to see what's out there, right? Our eyes project what is coming from within here, because when I changed my in here, my out here became incredible. So that's what it's all about. It all starts with you. It all starts with me. It all starts with us individually coming together collectively, you know, with that same intention of just love and tranquility, and one for all and all for one.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Yes. That's exactly it. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Wayne. I think we've been just a little bit over. So
that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. No. It's been great talking to you, and
Thank you.
I feel good about the future as well. I think that seeing everybody come together as community, and so many people just looking inward and deciding who they want to be, and you know, so many people being better, just better people in general.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
Better human race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. And
you're welcome. Thank you, everyone.
And I look forward
day.
to I look forward to when we can see each other in person again. And
Absolutely.
I definitely will put underneath here your Echo Movement information, the website and everything.
Yes, everybody can
and
go
the information
to
for the cleanup as well.
echomovement.ca, and yeah, we have a Facebook group, Facebook page, all that stuff. Just look up Echo Movement.
So I'll put that underneath for everybody.
Perfect.
And
awesome.
So that everybody can participate with the cleanup, because that's just a great initiative for sure.
Awesome. And you can do it anywhere you are on the planet.
Exactly. Just your local neighborhood. Yeah.
I can let them know right now. It's just all you have to do is take a picture or video of you cleaning the planet wherever you're at, posting it everywhere, hashtagging it Echo Movement Global Cleanup, and challenge others to do it too.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. And bye for now.